Hello everyone, this is Suzanne at God Crochet and Chatter. Welcome back. Today we're going to do a devotional, and today we're going to be discussing a hymn, its origins of where it came from. And today we're going to be talking about the Battle Hymn of the Republic. All right, let's get started with today's little overview of how that song came into being. Who is this King of glory? The Lord strong and mighty, the Lord mighty in battle. Psalms 24:8. After the September 11th, 2001 attacks on the Pentagon and the World Trade Center, a national service of prayer and remembrance was conducted at Washington's National Cathedral. America's most powerful leaders prayed together, listened to brief sermons by evangelist Billy Graham and others, then joined voices to sing the defiant anthem, Battle Hymn of the Republic. Its words seem to perfectly signal America's intention to battle the forces of terror in the world. Let me read the words of the Battle Hymn of the Republic. My eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He is trampling out the vineyard where the grapes of wrath are stored. He hath loosed the faithful lightning of his terrible swift sword. His truth is marching on. I have seen him in the watchfires of 100 circling camps. They have builded him an altar in the evening dews and damps. I can read his righteous sentence by the dim and flaring lamps. His day is marching on. He has sounded forth the trumpet that shall never sound retreat. He is shifting out our hearts of men before his judgment seat. Oh, be swift, my soul, to answer him. Be jubilant, my feet. Our God is marching on. In the beauty of the lilies, Christ was born across the sea, with the glory in his bosom that transfigures you and me. As he died to make man holy, let us live to make man free, while God is marching on. And God is still marching on ahead of us to this very day. Battle Hymn of the Republic was written by Julia Ward Howe, a leader in women's rights and an ardent foe of slavery. Julia, who came from a wealthy New York family, was married to a prominent Boston philanthropist and humanitarian, Dr. S. Howe. They were both crusaders for progressive political and moral issues of the day. In 1861, during the darkest days of the Civil War, the Howes visited Washington, and Julia toured a nearby Union camp on the Potomac in Virginia. There she heard soldiers singing a tribute to John Brown, who had been hanged in 1859 for attempting to lead an insurrection of slaves at Harper's Ferry. John Brown's body lies a-molding in the grave. The music was rousing, but the words needed improvement. Julia's pastor, who accompanied her, asked her to consider writing new and better verses. That night, after the Howes retired to their room at the Willard Hotel, the words came. I went to bed and slept as usual, but awoke the next morning in the gray of the early dawn, and to my astonishment found that the wished-for lines were arranging themselves in my brain. I lay quiet still until the last verse had completed itself in my thoughts, then hastily arose, saying to myself, I shall lose this if I don't write it down immediately. I searched for an old sheet of paper and an old stub of a pen, which I had the night before, and began to scrawl the lines almost without looking, as I learned to do by often scratching down verses in the darkened room when my little children were sleeping. Having completed this, I lay down again and fell asleep, but not before feeling that something of importance had just happened to me. Julia gave her song to a friend who worked at the Atlanta Monthly. The magazine published it in February 1862, sending her a check for $5. I imagine that was probably a lot of money back in those days. The Battle Hymn of the Republic. My eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He is trampling out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He hath loosed the faithful lightning of his terrible swift sword. His truth is marching on. Amen to that. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that little talk about the Battle Hymn of the Republic, how it came to be written. I always find these to be most interesting indeed. All right, I will be on with another verse of the day in a little bit. I hope you're enjoying our studies in Revelation. Tomorrow I'll be on. We will be looking at Revelation chapter 2, verse 9. So let's get on with our day. I hope everyone is doing well. I am not feeling too bad today. So take care. You have a blessed day in the Lord, and I'll see you tomorrow when we talk about Revelation chapter 2, verse 9.